Hello everyone and welcome back. My name is Shannon, I am the Wisdom Wench, and in today's video I'm going to guide you through starting your own herbal journey. I'm going to start with my history with herbalism and my herbal journey. We're going to go into practical things that you can do to start your own herbal journey. I'm going to give you 5 really easy herbs and spices that you can start with, and I'm going to give you 3 full herbal recipes as well. So stick around right to the end and I'm sure you'll learn something new. So if you're new here, hi, I'm Shannon and I am a clinical herbalist in training. I've just submitted my final project for my foundation course and I'm starting my professional course in September to actually be a clinical herbalist. Before that, I was practicing herbalism at home and in a much more general sense, mainly for me and mainly out of interest. It wasn't until much later on that I decided this is what I actually wanted to do. When I was first getting started in herbalism, it was a carry-on for me from my paganism. So I am a pagan and a practicing pagan, and I use herbs in my craft and I use herbs as part of my practice, as part of my worship, as part of honour and veneration of the land. And that for me was a really natural progression to learning about it as medicine and our relationship to the natural world and the interconnectedness in all of it. After I kind of started looking into individual herbs and some things that I was working with in a more esoteric sense, what they actually were medicinally, that led to me starting to blend my own teas. That was the first type of herbal medicine I ever really made. After blending my own teas, I did do a few oil infusions and alcohol infusions, but they were more for a flavour aspect. It wasn't really for a herbal kind of aspect of it at all. I've had a very long history with medication and with doctors, and after a lot of very, very hard work, I've managed to come off of majority of my general prescribed medications with the aid of my GPs, and I'm now just using herbal medicine to treat myself. And I have been for a little while, and it's something that I'm really proud of, and it took me a really long time to get here. After dabbling with teas and things, I started looking at treating some of my own conditions, things like IBS and food and diet and how that shapes everything we're doing, and adding in herbs and herbal vitamins, until really it was about 2 years ago I was really considering doing a herbal course. I just left my master's in law and I was dabbling, and I've had on my vision board for like 4 years the Heartwood Foundation course logo, and I kind of took the plunge and I was like, I'm doing this, and it's been the best year of herbal training, and it's really solidified what it is that I want to do with my life and what I feel is my purpose, and I'm very, very happy with where I'm at. So that's my short snippet of my background with herbal medicine. But where can you start? My first tip for anyone who wants to start a herbal medicine journey is follow your curiosity. Let it guide you through all of this. If you use something a lot in cooking, can you look at that ingredient and see if it's got any herbal value? If you drink a certain kind of tea, can you look at something in that? Anything, whatever has sparked your curiosity to start looking into herbal medicine, follow it. Let it guide you, let it kind of wash you away. It's going to be the most fun when you're looking at things that are relevant to you, and it's going to get you really interested to keep going. With that, start small. I'm going to give you a list of 5 in the next segment that you might want to start with, but there is no wrong way to start herbalism. Start with things that are already in your life and aren't going to change it too much. Herbal medicine is a complement to your life. It's not additional tasks, and it shouldn't feel that way, especially when you're starting. If you are feeling a bit like you're on your herbal medicine journey and you're feeling like you should be doing things, try to let go of the judgment, or start letting go of the judgment and moving on to something that you actually genuinely enjoy. Go back to basics. Find a really, really simple tea for something. Find an officinale, find a poultice. Research something brand new. Keep it fun and fresh and interesting. Use what you have at home. You don't need to buy anything to start herbal medicine. You don't need to buy a single herb, you don't need to buy any equipment, you don't need to buy books, you don't need to buy courses, you don't need to buy anything. Start with a herb, and there are so many free resources available to you. You can get books from your local library. I do that all the time. You can look at YouTubers, and there are tons of resources online. I'm going to leave loads in the description below. And if you have any that you really, really want to share and you think is a great place for beginners to start, please put it in the comments below. Keep a herbal journal as you go through this process. It's going to be a mix of workbook and diary. So as you're learning about a plant, make notes on it, but also make notes about how you're feeling. What are your beliefs about herbal medicine? What are things that you want to change? What are things that you're questioning? Keep it as an ongoing journey, a development journal around your own personal herbal practice. This will help you solidify not only knowledge in a certain area, but it will help you understand what you believe and how you feel about herbal medicine. It will help you see where you're struggling and where you're doing really, really well. So I highly recommend keeping a herbal journal. Mostly when you are learning herbal medicine, make sure that you're practicing it. Actually make things that you are researching. Reading is great, researching is great, learning about all this stuff is fantastic. But that knowledge will only be solidified when you actually start practicing it. Make a tea, make a poultice, make a vinegar, make an oxymel, make a tincture. Wherever it is that you want to start physically doing something. Leave yourself space to grow. Allow your opinions to change and allow yourself room for understanding. It's a long process. It's something that you're going to be doing. If you continue on your journey for the rest of your life, your knowledge will always be changing. Allow yourself room for growth, for understanding, for your mind to change, for your opinions to change. Allow yourself to learn new things. Trust yourself in making new things as well. So, like I promised, 5 herbs to start with. There is no wrong way to start with herbalism. I've said this before, I will continue to say this. So if you've got herbs at the front of your mind that you're like, I want to learn about that, go with that. That will keep your interest, and that's more important. If you're feeling really overwhelmed and you don't know where to start, here are the 5 things that I would recommend starting with. Firstly, garlic. You probably use it in food a lot, but it's got an amazing, amazing amount of medicinal properties. It's used in the treatment of high blood pressure, cholesterol. It's used for colds and flus and lung issues. Like, garlic can do a lot. Something that we often take for granted for flavouring food is a great medicinal plant. So I would recommend start doing a little bit of research and a bit of practice with some garlic. Secondly, ginger. Ginger is beautiful. It's flavourful, and when it's fresh, it's completely different to when it's dried. Try it with both. Try fresh ginger, try dried ginger. Find something that you really, really like. Not only is this plant incredibly versatile, that you can use it in so much to do with food, but it has a lot of really great medicinal uses as well. As you start researching garlic, you might find that it's an anti-inflammatory. You might also find that it's really good for travel sickness, if you didn't know already. So I really recommend ginger as one of your 5 herbs. Thirdly, dandelion. Dandelion is in abundance and it's easy to get. You can buy the dried herb, but the majority of the time from the year you can walk outside and you can find dandelion. Just make sure if you are picking dandelion that it hasn't been treated with chemicals and isn't near any polluted areas. Look up the guidelines for foraging. I will put some details of foraging in the description below as well. Always be safe, and if you're unsure, don't risk it. But dandelion is a really accessible, easy to get herb. It's an all-rounder herb, and every part of said herb can be used. So it's a great thing to learn about what different parts of the plant need for you to be able to extract different properties. 4. Lavender. Lavender can be taken internally and externally. Some people hate the taste of lavender. I'm in that park. I can't stand it, but I love the smell of it. You can use lavender externally and internally, generally for things that involve calming and soothing. So calming and soothing the skin, or calming and soothing the muscles, the nerves, your anxiety. It helps with relaxing and with sleep. Lavender does a lot, and it's incredibly safe for a lot of people. Finally, chamomile. Chamomile, it's another one where people sometimes love it, sometimes hate it. But it's an excellent herb for tying together a lot of herbal concoctions. It's really, really gentle and it's safe for a lot of people. With all of these herbs, make sure that before you use them for anything, that you do some research into the contraindications, which if you've watched my video on making a hay fever tea, I do touch on how to do research into herbs. If you looked at a couple of my previous videos, you'll see how I do research into herbs. I will link some in the cards above. But make sure that it's not going to react with you. It's not going to react with you or any medications that you might be taking or any conditions that you have. If you're unsure, don't risk it. Just do a little bit of research. And if you find that you need a different type of herb to any of these, there are plenty of alternatives available. Finally, we're going to look at 3 really easy recipes. One of them you would have seen before, and I bet you can make one of these at home right now. If you don't know where to start with your practice, this is a great place to start. So here are 3 really cool, quick and easy herbal recipes for you to try. To make our first recipe, it is a simple onion cough syrup. All you need is 1 large onion, a clean sterilised jar, and a granulated sugar of your choice. Anything but powdered will work. Here I'm using golden caster sugar, but I've used a dark muscovado sugar before and it's all been perfectly fine. It will just change the colour. You're going to chop the onion up into rounds, and then you're going to start layering it in the jar with sugar between each layer. Onion, sugar, onion, sugar. You close the lid, put it in a cool, dark spot, leave it for 24 hours, and you've got yourself a cough syrup. Decant it into another clean sterilised jar and take a teaspoon as and when it's needed. It will have a soft oniony taste, but it will really soothe and coat your throat. The next recipe we're going to look at today is a simple lavender and oat poultice. If you watched my last video, you're already familiar with this, but you're going to grind up oat flour and you're going to mix it with some lavender. Simple as that. When you need to use it, add 1 part of the powder to 2 parts of water. Let it sit for just a minute. As it gets thicker, apply it to the area with irritated skin. Cover it with an old but clean tea towel and you're done. It washes off easy and it's incredibly soothing to the skin. Finally, we're making an immune boosting tea. This one's got all of the anti-inflammatories in it. It's got boosting citrus, it's got energizing turmeric. This is everything you need to get yourself going in the morning. Firstly, we're going to use a lemon. I used about half a lemon in this. Cut up and cut the rind off as much as you can. We're going to use some blackberries for a little bit of sweetness, and we're going to use ginger for its antibacterial, antimicrobial and anti-inflammatory properties. We're going to use about a half a teaspoon of ground turmeric. We're going to layer all of this up in a cafetiere, add hot water, honey to sweeten as you choose, and let it sit for about 10 minutes. You can leave it longer, just the flavours will get stronger, so you might want to add a bit more honey. When you're ready, press it out and enjoy. This is a lovely drink that you can enjoy hot or cold for a beautiful bit of immune boosting magic. This is so good. So, to conclude this, you don't need a lot of resources to start practicing herbal medicine or to start your herbal medicine journey. You don't need to buy loads of herbs and jars or equipment. You don't need to buy books. There are so many free resources available, and hopefully you'll find some in the description and in the comments down below. Feel free to add any that you find along your journey as well. You don't need to start with courses or anything like that. If something like that does call to you and helps you on your herbal journey, go for it. It's great to learn from herbalists, and it's really, really good to get lots of different opinions and try lots of different things in the herbal world. You will always be learning. You don't have to start that way. You can if you want to. Herbal medicine is something that has always been accessible to the people. It was the medicine of the people, and it's something that you can do. Read widely and learn as much as you can. Something that you are going to notice is that herbal medicine is treated very, very differently from conventional medicine when you're looking at conditions. You need to be open to thinking very, very differently about treatments and herbs and medications. Read up about folklore. Don't dismiss folk practices. They are incredibly important. They're vital to our history of herbal medicine. And finally, the last piece of advice I can give you is to trust yourself. You can do it. You are fully capable. I believe in you. I do. Trust yourself. You are fully capable of starting a herbal medicine journey. And you can try it and you can experiment. And if people look at you like you're a little bit weird, it will happen. That's okay. It's not a judgment on you. Do what makes you happy. If learning about this makes you happy, run with it. Go for it. It will be great. Thank you for being here with me today. I know this one was a little bit rambly, but it was something that I really wanted to talk about, how you can start your own journey. I see a lot of things online about get this course and do this and do that, and it's like, just pick a plant, get a book from the library. It's accessible and it doesn't need anything. This has always been a medicine of the people for the people, so it doesn't need lots of great big stuff. Great big stuff is great and stuff like, and I enjoy great big stuff. I one day want to have one of those big, massive, old-looking apothecaries. That is the dream, but that's not where I started and that's not where I'm at yet. It's not accessible to me yet. One day it will be, but not yet. Please like if you enjoyed this. Please comment. Let me know if you're going to start a journey. If you do start, let me know what you try. If you try any of the recipes that are in this video, please, please, please let me know. I really like hearing about other people's experience with herbs, and the conversations that I've been having with so many of you in the descriptions just bring me so much joy. Subscribe if you feel called to, if you'd like to come along this journey with me as I try and become a clinical herbalist. And please keep me updated of your journeys. Thank you so much for being here. I'm always honoured that you've chosen to be here with me today. And I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much. Bye. My tea is just so good. Intro. Must record an intro. Okay. Hello everyone and welcome back. My name is Shannon. I am the Wisdom Wench, and in today's video I'm going to guide you how you... Hello everyone and welcome back. My name is Shannon. I am the Wisdom Wench, and in today's video I'm going to guide you through... I'm going to go over 5... So, I sounded like a seagull. What you doing? That's my dog. If you try any of those